It's round 17 of the Moto3 World Championship, and we head over to the Twin Ring Motegi circuit in Japan. The action is rising, the tension is up. Welcome to race time. Let's head back down to the grid and join Susie, but first Joel Kelso's with Nat.
So yeah, hopefully we can make a great race today.
Good race. There we go, positive.
It's the detail, though. That's what I like about a Joel interview. That inside, you know, we know exactly now what the plan is for the race.
He sort of speaks in sound bites, but I wish you all the best today. Would love for him to get on the podium here. Valentin Perone going from the front row as well, Michael.
Yeah, he's looked so feisty. Once again this weekend, didn't seem to click for him early doors on Friday, but made it count in qualifying, middle of the front row, looking aggressive. And his first win is coming. Likewise, Joel's, they will be battling for it today, as they did in Misano. Looking forward to this one.
We can find out whether Valentin thinks he's got a chance today. He's with Nat.
Valentin, first time here, and you stick it on the front row. How much are you looking forward to this race?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to do a great race and to battle with Rueda. We know he has an amazing pace, so we'll try to follow him, and in the last lap I will do my maximum and I will try to get the first victory of the season.
Enjoy it.
Thanks so much.
I mean, how good is that on your first race to be able to put your bike on the front row? And he looks like he's got some pace, doesn't he?
Yeah, he's been the standout this year, and so good to witness his progression through the pack to established front runner now. And first visit to Motegi, didn't click immediately Friday, had to work at it, but yeah, as I said, knuckled down and qualifying, delivered a perfect lap time. So yeah, he knows Rueda is going to be hard to beat today, but he's got the aggression to throw some moves up the inside.
We just saw shots of Tayo Forizato, who the crowd obviously love. Home rider in front of crowd from the second row. What can he do today?
Well, we know Forizato doesn't need any extra motivation. He's a charger. Qualifying doesn't matter for Forizato. He always goes forward. So the fact that he has qualified on the second row bodes well for this race. He'll risk it all. He's another rider who's had a handful of second place finishes yet to win a race. So how nice would it be? You know, I know we're not supposed to pick favourites for a race, but I would be incredibly happy if Tayo managed to win this one.
Guido Prini there. He's got a double long lap penalty for riding slowly, first offence, so that's probably put paid really to his race. But we can jump up along that third row of the grid. David Munoz goes from 7th. I think we can hear from David now.
David, third row of the grid. What are you expecting? How do you think this race is going to pan out?
Yeah, today is a very good, important day for me because I working very well, but today the day more important on the weekend. We'll see. Stay in the group and fighting with the group because maybe Rueda pushing in the beginning of the race, but well, stay focused, calm, and go to the end to the race.
Thanks, David.
Thank you.
Staying focused and calm. Actually, he is a changed rider.
He is, even how much information he's given us in his previous interviews. He's a much more considered individual when it comes to lights out. Still aggressive as always, knows Rueda may try and make a break here, but he's got to keep calm and bring the fight all the way to the last laps. He's capable of doing it. Didn't quite have the pace of Misano last time out. Will want to right that today and be back on the podium.
Were you saying Yamanaka there? We saw he goes from the 4th row. Max Quiles is from the 3rd row. Little off the pace this weekend. What's going on there?
Yeah, again, first time visit for him to Motegi, but we've been so accustomed to it, just figure tracks out and get up to speed straight away, but it's not been easy. He's had to fight to be there on the 3rd row of the grid, but I wouldn't rule him out of the podium battle because he's such a quality rider and he loves it when the race kicks off. That fires him up. So yeah, Quiles a little bit down on pace, but yeah, certainly not lacking aggression ahead of this race today.
Looking at shots of Stefano Neppa there, had to come through Q1 to get to Q2, as did Marco Morelli, one of your riders, Michael. Eddie O'Shea directly behind Marco in 17th. Both of them have had good pace this weekend. Eddie, probably best weekend he's had so far. Almost made it through to Q2, didn't he?
Yeah, should have made it through to Q2. Missed by, I think it was 1/1000th of a second in the end. But yeah, he was really disappointed not to get through, so that's a clear step. He's got good rhythm, good pace. He just needs a good start today. Really happy with the bike. Marco's still struggling a little bit with chatter on the row ahead, but yeah, both looking really strong, so fingers crossed for a good result here for both Eddie and Marco. Yeah, excited for it.
Yeah, first time for Eddie as well, isn't it? Because, of course, he was with your team last year but had that injury in Indonesia, so didn't race here. So what kind of race are we expecting?
It will be the typical bunch sprint here in Moto3. I do expect a proper scrap, although on paper the favours the KTMs. They brake a little bit better, accelerate off the slow corners. So in theory, it should be an Angel Becerras versus Rueda, Peroni, Kelso, and I would look for Quiles joining that fight as well. But Furusato from the Honda front should be able to mix it up. That is shots of Marco Morelli there. He's hopefully going to be able to make the jump. He's aggressive in the early laps as well. So yeah, let's see. I think it's going to be a good one today.
Is there any particular point where they can make the difference here?
It is a hard one. I guess getting onto that long back straight is so important. Turn 10, making sure you don't compromise your exit, getting into the slipstream, staying in the draft, being aggressive in those braking zones, and just fighting for track position, staying at the head of the group is so important in Moto3.
Well, let's see what they can do then. It's Jose Antonio Rueda who's in pole position, the champion-elect, effectively. If he can get a victory here today, he is going to be so close to that title. Our first race of the day then, Moto3, your Japanese Grand Prix. Let's head over to your commentators, Neil Hodgson, and of course, Gavin Emmett.
Good morning.
Here we go then, it's the Japanese Grand Prix for Moto3, and anything can happen when we get going here. It's going to be an unpredictable, wild ride at Twin Wing Motegi with rain in the air. Welcome to Japan. It's the first race of the day, and it's the Moto3 Grand Prix of Japan. Jose Antonio Rueda on pole position, alongside on the front row of the grid is Valentin Peroni, then Joel Kelso. Then it's Angel Becerras alongside Tayo Fodasato and Adrian Fernandez. David Munoz, Maximo Credas, Guido Pini, Alvaro Carpe, Russi Monaco alongside Luca Lanetta, Stefano Neppa, Marco Morella alongside Matteo Bertoletti, Conrad Buchanan, Eddie O'Shea, Alb Atima alongside Rushi Moody, Jacob Woolstone, Ricardo Rossi, Noah Deltweller, Scott Ogden, David Almanza and Dennis Foggia, the 25. Jose Antonio Rueda leads on 295 points to Becerras on 217. Maximo Cuelas up on 188. What an impressive season he's been having as they head off on the formation lap. We're underway for the Moto3 Grand Prix in Japan.
Second offence. Right, there were a few first offences for running slow in that session. Fernandez, Becerras, Munoz and Marco Morelli all got a warning from the stewards. Neil, is this another step on the road to glory for Jose Antonio Rueda today? Do you reckon someone can strike a blow here? What kind of race are we going to get today?
Well, Rueda has got really good pace, as we've seen pretty much all year, and he will try and break away. I don't think tyre life's going to play a huge part in it, so he's starting from pole. I think plan A is for him to put the hammer down, but as we're well aware, his rivals know that, and he's got some aggressive rivals that will be trying to put a move on him. The beauty at this track, especially for Moto3, there's lots of passing opportunities.
There are, no doubt about it. All these, so what do you say, about 300-400 metre long straights and then fairly tight corners around. It just provides opportunities, but can it break up? Can you get a group race? What do you see happening?
It's a good question, because over the years we've seen all of the above, haven't we, really? So, yeah, someone like Rueda, if he does get a couple of clean laps and is battling behind, he could break away. But, yeah, like I said, there's some very, very aggressive young riders in this race, especially that man who's just at the front there, like, say, Marco Morelli riding for the MLab Racing squad. He's a hard charger.
It's been their best weekend, hasn't it, as a squad? It feels like, to me anyway, perhaps their very early days in the championship, but MLab's team have really stood up in the last couple of weekends, and how good is that to see?
Well, do you know, it's good for just the morale for everyone involved, riders, people in the team. It's a 22-round championship. There's a lot of work goes into this, so yeah, there's some real green shoots there. So yeah, really positive feeling, positive vibe.
Marco Morelli won the Junior GP race last week in Misano. They ride through out of turn 11, through underneath the second of the bridges, and through this lovely little last section. And it's areas like that where Jose Antonio Rueda will look to extend his championship lead. It stands at 78, 150 still to play for. That's a 3-race buffer he's got as things stand.
And that is a critical amount as well on the front. Okay, teeth gritted. Eyes will be focused towards the lights. And then we will be underway for said procedure down to the first corner. Watch out to see if we get any yellow flags. We've already had that a couple of times today. Okay, here we go. It's the Moto3 Grand Prix of Japan. Lights out, we're underway, down towards the first corner. Who gets the best getaway? In towards it, it is going to be Rueda, who cuts off Peroni. Joel Kelso, look on the inside, Tayo Funasato, making his way up into third position for fifth on the grid. Great getaway as we enter turn 1 and 2. The double right-hander that leads down to the 90-degree turn 3. Sato's been forced off onto the exit of the circuit. Everyone looks to be okay, though, as they come down to the braking zone. Rueda leads Peroni, Piqueras for Asato. It's a big one there in the middle of the field. And who's gone down on the deck? It is going to be right down to Stefano Nepa. Atama has gone down as well. Nepa got caught up in that yellow flag out in the first sector. But Stefano Nepa continues on. Armi Arimata is out of the race. Let's see if we can get back in later on. But right now, Rueda leads this race with Piqueras. No, Kelso's moved up into second position with a fantastic move. Peroni down to third, Munoz down to fourth place as well. Carpe fifth for Asato's down 2 at 4 places as Alvaro Carpe. And the steward says the incident is currently under investigation from turn number 1, so they're not going to let it go as easily as we thought they might. Up they come then, green flag's gone back out. Munoz goes up into third position. Peroni goes down to fourth. No jump start, says race control. That's the best news we've got to start this race, as they turn in once more with the 25 on the top of the field. It is Rueda from Kelso, Munoz, Peroni, Cuelas, Carpe, Funasato as they head down into the braking zone for the first time at turn number 11. Up the inside, Maximo Cuelas makes the move on Valentin Peroni. Peroni tries to cut round the undercut, swings back round the outside, coming into turn 17 and makes that, turn 14, makes that move stick. And then they'll be back on the run down towards turn 1. Rueda leading from Kelso, then Munoz, Peroni, Cuelas, top 5 as Munoz looks to the inside line to Kelso at the first corner. Can't make the move there, unfortunately, into turn 1, so will just back off. No jump starts, but Guidi Pini with that long lap penalty, as Plug mentioned earlier on in the YouTube chat, as well for impeding in Q1 and Q2, a first offence. Manza and Foggia start from the back of the grid for their second impeding in qualifying. They've already made up a couple of places, I can tell you as well. And Manza is up into 13th position. He's made up 11 places. Foggia has only made up 9 places, but up to 16th as up the inside at turn 5. Joel Kelso takes the lead away from Jose Antonio Rueda as they go underneath the first half at the banking from the IndyCar circuit on the oval as they come through. No jump starts, confirmed race control. That was the best news, as now Rueda under attack from Munoz, who's gone round the outside. Munoz takes second position and now starts to make his way through the field as can we see anything coming up the inside as Peroni gets on the inside and down at turn 9 and moves ahead of Maximo Cuelas, and over Carpe goes, so we've got a yellow flag out in the third sector. Noah Deltweller, I think, has gone wide, and there's a couple of drops of rain on the camera lens down at turn 10. Now, if it does rain, we would have a red flag situation. Remember last year in the Moto2 race, where the red flag had to come out for wet weather. Noah Deltweller has crashed out of the race as well, so that's a disappointment. 2 retirements in the opening 2 laps. Kelso leading the way at the front of the field as things go on. 16 laps to go. Let's check in with TNT.
Rain is not forecast though, so I'd be shocked if it does start to rain. But we've been at this track quite a few times and it normally rains, so yeah, you're right.
Yeah, it's been the best weather we've had. We are a couple of weeks earlier than we normally come. Yeah, it looks like a couple of spots of rain on the camera lens at turn 1 as well, so risky situation, and you can imagine.
See if it red flags it.
Away, you thinking, hang on, I've got a 78-point lead, but you know, I could throw 25 away if I just chuck it down the road.
Exactly, it's the last thing you want. The problem is at speed, the odd spot of rain, it looks like it's raining heavier than it actually is.
Yeah, looking out, we actually have a window in our commentary box here, which is quite a rarity, but you can see how dark it is. You can see the odd spot, but it is not like drizzle or anything like that. It really is the lightest of light spotting.
we were talking yesterday about Kelso qualifying well, and we said if he can get in the lead of the race and use his sweeping lines, he has his bike set slightly different. He likes a really soft fork setting, which basically allows the bike to turn more naturally. He can usually turn sharper than his rivals. The problem is in some of the heavier braking areas, that holds him back just a bit. He ends up in a situation where he's essentially bottoming the front forks out. So what Kelso needs is he needs Munoz and let's say Quiles on cue to just duff each other up. If Kelso can get a lead, he's as in if he can get a gap, he's got a chance of winning his first Grand Prix.
The fact is, where in MotoGP we talk about these really being hairpins, and turn 10 is still for Moto3. A lot of turns 1 and 2, turns 3 and 4 are fast swoopers, aren't they? Sweepers for the Moto3 bike.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, and this part of the track's fast and flowing.
They love it.
Lovely sector, isn't it? This one.
Technical,
really
hard to get right. It's one of them you rush and then it costs you all the way down the start and finish.
Ask Scott Ogden yesterday, who just clipped that inside curve, lost the front. How Scott Ogden saved it, I have no idea.
He did well. He did well. He should have been on his ear. He managed to get his knee down, didn't he? And he picked the bike back up. Still a few spots there.
David Almanza, he's up to 11th now, having started at the back of the grid.
10th now.
But
he's got ahead of Yamanaka. Yeah, he's got ahead of Yamanaka. Rain flags are out. Rain, oh, wow. So it's raining now down at turn 3. Now, this is critical. So the white flag with the red X has gone out. Now, that would mean that it is raining. So if they have to swap bikes, they can't. So it will be tyre change. It's different rules in Moto2 and Moto3 compared to MotoGP. Only got the one bike. So if it does start raining heavy enough, we will have a red flag. The race would be restarted on wet compound tyre from the grid positions taken from the last complete lap. As Quiles up to second position then, ahead of Munoz. Raider in fourth, as Bertanti gets ahead of Rushi Moody as well for 17th position on the field at the moment, down in a few gears. So basically, if we have to go red flag, they want to see it. It's getting very dark out here. The flags are out on the board as well, and on the starting monitor. So we've got the white flag with the red X. Quiles starts on the inside of Kelso at turn number 10. That's going to be a bit brave and aggressive, and he's taken it. So right now, the riders know it is raining. Pini's completed his long lap penalty. So the rain flags are out. Oh, is it going to be a red flag? That's the question now that we're running to as they head down into the braking zone for turn number 11. Turn 12 coming up back on the inside line. No sign of the red flag at the moment. The rain flags are now out around the entirety of the circuit. It is not raining hard enough, though, to stop the race. We can barely see it on our camera lens, only when we zoom out, but the riders will be feeling the lack of grip. I'm looking everywhere to try and see where there is any form of it. Down into turn 1, Peroni is on the inside line. He forces Rueda wide. Furusato might try and take that along with Piqueras. Side by side at the front, Kelso and Munoz doing battle. They're bringing Peroni and Rueda in for it. Rueda's going to go up into third position all the way from 5th on the inside line. And up to second goes David Munoz. On our TV pictures, well, that can't be correct, can it? Because it's Valentin Peroni is now retaking second position as well. Pini has now taken that 2-lap penalties, as I said a moment ago. That's come up on our monitors. Rain flag still out, and it's now raining harder down at turn 5. Visibly raining now down at turn 5. Will they red flag it to change over? It's not yet, I don't think, at wet weather tyres. The lap times are still competitive, 156s, and they're still setting red sectors. It's not yet at the time that we need a red flag situation. But Peroni's right to the back of Maximo Quiles, and they are attacking so far. A little bit of a touch there coming through from Rueda, under attack from Furusato, touching the exit curb. No sign at the moment of the red flags. We'll see if that happens.
Foster-esque, turns in super early, gets it stopped.
It's raining in 10-11.
Doesn't even think about corner speed, it's a block pass, old school block pass.
Quiles did the same, didn't he, but could not get near Peroni. So Peroni now leads. Well, this is a different race to the one I was expecting.
Yeah,
I genuinely thought that Rueda, here comes Quiles, down into turn 11, Peroni hard on the brakes. I was thinking Rueda would just be able to,
I thought he could control it. I thought he might not risk too much early on, but Don't get me wrong, he sits back there in 5th place at the moment. He won't be panicking.
No, in 6th, actually, because
Yeah.
Rosato's now got through on him. So across the line they go. Kelso with a run on Munoz. He's going to come under fire from Tayo Furusato.
Rain flags up, still
spots
one.
the rain out there. It is wide enough for 2 abreast around there, and Furusato is fair, I would say, to Kelso on that occasion. Quiles, again on its nose as he went down into turn 3. Manages to bring it back. Tucks in behind Perrone. Still Munoz on the green paper. He rides about a millimetre from the rider in front.
Yeah, which is it's always a risky strategy because you only need definitely more rain now, so we can see the flags waving.
Can't see the rain
Someone's
level.
waving their arms at the back. Is it Carpe? I think he got lunetted or something.
Yeah. Arm was in the air, wasn't it, from Alvaro Carpe?
It was
back
well.
Oh, up the inside.
Quiles got Munoz.
Yeah, David Munoz to 2nd place now, and he's after the lead with Perrone.
It looks, I don't know why, it just looks slick up there. It looks, the surface looks a little bit shiny.
This should be a red flag in my book.
Michael's just come in and said quite a few drops.
Yeah, it should be a red flag.
Now.
Yeah, and if you look at the lap times, they're a couple of seconds off, aren't they? If you look at what the lap record is,
yeah, about a couple of seconds off what the lap record would be, but then they are on the battery.
Kelso's been nerfed off the racing line. Tell you what, Lunetta's done well. He had a terrible start. He was actually in the 2nd group. He's managed to bridge that gap and he's worked his way forward.
Well, still Almanza as well from the back of the grid up into 6th place. On board with David Munoz through 12. He's your race leader now as we come across the line again. This one, look at Quiles.
Quiles, we've seen him do that in practice, over the edge of the curb, and look how it affects your drive. You can really see it from the helicopter. Using all the road and a bit more, and it's just cost him time.
Furusato is able to get through, so Munoz leads, Perrone 2nd, now Furusato in 3rd, Quiles is in 4th place. Fernandez 5th, Almanza in 6th. Where's Jose Antonio Rueda gone? He's just dropped backwards, hasn't he?
Yeah.
He's down in 10th at the moment, and he can...
He's riding, he's gripping those handlebars. He can feel that World Championship on his shoulders, and he's thinking it's drizzling a little bit. The last thing I want to do is tuck the front here and lose a load of points.
It's
you can also see
starting
that
to
Angel
be...
Figueras is right there.
It's now visibly raining at turn 5 a lot heavier. The lap times have dropped to 1:57. We're losing a 2nd per lap. It's on the cusp where we would red flag it right now. I think this would be a red flag.
Under the bridge then.
Oh, Munoz as well, using all the curbs
Yeah.
on the fastest corner. That's a 4th gear corner, over 100 miles an hour. Like you said, you could see the rain.
It's raining now.
Well, you did wonder whether in this part of the circuit it might be a little bit worse, and it certainly has that feeling. There is Rueda.
Yeah.
And you can't blame
Well, you can see he's holding his breath.
John Kelso has been cut adrift after he was pushed out wide. Was it Yamanaka who came through? I missed it. Looking elsewhere. Oh, and someone else, that's Fernandez and his teammate. They've already had a collision, haven't they, once this season?
Yeah. I think probably more than once, if we're going to be honest, Gav.
Munoz is liking this, rides the white line down to turn 11.
I mean, why wouldn't you?
Oh my word!
Fernandez and
Like Fernandez
Yamanaka.
now, the throttle works both ways. You're always going to lose out in that situation. Just roll off a little bit. That's it. Back in behind the rider. It's so important, right? You have to be aggressive in Moto3, but you can be too aggressive, and you create problems for yourself. You put yourself in parts of the track you don't need to be in. Look at that.
Perrone had a moment
Yeah,
there.
he did. We're at that tipping point, aren't we?
Yeah.
With a little bit of drizzle.
2 to
and
3
it
laps,
literally
maybe.
goes like that. From 1 minute being the grip level's fine, and a little bit more rain comes down, and it turns to
57
ice,
now last
literally.
time.
And the fact is as well, you tell me if I'm wrong here, but the commitment that Munoz is showing will help keeping the heat in his tyres and you know, keeping the fact. If you start to just roll off a little bit, you've got yourself a bit more peril.
But I'd keep off the paint. But
Still raining.
David Munoz's not listening, not aware of that. This is where it looks like the heaviest part, like going to the bridge. Can we see, like on the exit there, I wouldn't be using the curbs. He didn't that lap, thankfully.
Look at the field separation now. 1 second between the leader at the front. I would say we're 2 to 3 laps away from a call to wet because the track's now visibly getting a lot damper out there. I can visibly now see there's just wet lines all around, and they're on slick tyres, remember. Lap times are now so far down. We're at that cusp. Lap 8 of 17, so we're near half distance. There would be a red flag at some point, I think, to get over to wet tyres. It's still raining, but it's that fine mist of rain that's really annoying as Lunetta gets ahead of Yamanaka down to the braking zone. Munoz is 1.2 seconds ahead to Fortunato, then Perrone, as up the inside. Once more, we see the beautiful move on the inside from Yamanaka. Lunetta trying to get through, and now we've got Sunshine coming through the back half of the circuit. It's just madness. It's what we could do. But it's raining at the other half, and it's just that fine drizzle. Let's hope that this sun now burns off that water vapour that's been left on the circuit, but it's still visibly raining down there.
Earlier, he's up to 15th. I mentioned Cormac Buchanan earlier, having a decent weekend. He's 17th. Morelli is 18th. Eddie O'Shea 19th. Scott Ogden 20th. On board with your championship leader.
Oh, down!
Oh, it's Furusato.
Furusato's out.
Oh dear, Tayo Furusato in second place at his home Grand Prix, trying to close down on Munoz.
Just drop. Oh, it's a high side in the middle of the corner. Wow.
Don't see that.
No, it's a rare one, that, isn't it?
Yeah.
I think that's probably down to the weather, you'd say, wouldn't you?
An eagerness, isn't it, to get back to Munoz, cracking the throttle.
Look at the last lap time Munoz done. I mean, he's 0.7 of a second. He was 0.7 of a second faster than pretty much everyone.
So, you know, there, Furusato feels like he's got on the throttle a bit early, trying to catch up. Where's Munoz making the difference?
Well, it looks like he's risking a fair lot in braking zones. He's using all the road and the curbs, which is risky when there's a bit of drizzle around, because, as I've said on numerous occasions, the curbs just hold the water a little bit more. There's less chance of it evaporating.
Has he had a moment? Because Munoz had a 2-second gap.
Yellow's out.
Down to 1.2.
Still
He's had a moment.
Yeah, Munoz's gone off.
Unsurprisingly, he's had a moment because he's pushed.
Oh, and Perrone's back on the inside line.
Running underneath Lunetta and still getting the drive down the back straight. Sun out now. So that changes the
Here we go.
scene again.
Yeah, I think what's happened, it's
Furusato. Oh, Piqueras going out wide.
Yeah, and it's where there was more rain down to turn 5. I think that's Munoz, that's where he had his moment.
It came up on my screen, Furusato has crashed again. So he'd rejoined
Yes, he
the
has,
race and he's crashed again.
Yeah, there he
we
is.
are.
He's gone down a second time.
So, unfortunately, that's at turn 6, I think. Is that through the tunnel?
It's a quarter
It
later.
is, you know.
Yeah.
Oof. Don't like the look of that one. He looks okay, though. That's the main thing. So, moment or no moment on that last lap. David Munoz was still 2/10 quicker than Valentin Perrone. Oh, sorry, was only 2/10 slower than Valentin Perrone. My mistake.
He lost a load down into 5, but then made it back.
Oh, that's Furusato, look.
Obviously, there's
Red
something
flags
wrong
are
with the
back
bike.
Like, yeah.
That was a very strange one.
It's strange. Furusato in the middle of the tunnel section with the bike just left there.
You can see the mark on the ground, that's where he was. Right, so this is spread out a little bit. David Munoz leads. Valentin Perrone second. David Almanza from the back of the grid could be in line for his first podium. The only rider in the top 13 in the championship not to have a podium.
Yeah, and he's got his hands full with this man. The impressive Max Keeles, who sits 3rd in this championship. Had a win already in Italy.
You know,
had a couple actually, Keeles.
You know, the sun came out on that last lap. We're talking about lap times. Munoz was 3 seconds slower.
Yeah.
On that last lap.
Just because it's sunny doesn't mean that there's anywhere near rain. Scott Ogden's been told to drop a position.
It's difficult for the riders because there's obviously parts of the track where there's a bit of drizzle, parts of the track where the sun's out.
Here comes Piqueras, having run off the track, run wide. Now in front of Lunetta. I'm finding this race hard to read. He was off track a moment ago.
Yes, it's a strange one. There's one thing, if you're Rueda, who is leading this championship, he'll be nice and relaxed, sits in 7th place, and his main title rivals behind him at the moment. So he'll be just marking him off.
Yeah.
Counting down the laps.
Scott Ogden overtaking under the yellow flag, so he's got to drop back. He just got through on Matteo Bertelli to 18th, but has to go back to 19th now. The big group with Foggia heading up there all the way down to Eddie O'Shea.
Yeah, it's turned into a spread out race because of that bit of rain. It's a big group, isn't it, that Foggia group? 12th down to, what is it, 20th?
On board with Max Keeletz here, with the final podium position in his hands.
That is such a fast corner, is turn 6, that the riders don't even stick the knees out. If you look then at Almanza, he went round that corner absolutely flat out, knees in, keeping the aero perfect.
There were those black clouds, you could just see over Max's left shoulder. Looks like they've gone through for the moment, which is good news for now. Good news for David Munoz as he extends his lead. The lap times have come back down, Neil, into the 156 bracket. Started the race in the 55s, dropped back to the 56s, and they're starting to turn the wick up again. Fastest rider on track is Angel Piqueras in 8th, who now that the sun has started to break through, is motoring once more.
Yeah, if you look at the Leaders' Championship, it's been bizarre, hasn't it? You start with a no score, no score, no score 6th, no score 3rd, no score. So right up to Silverstone, David Munoz's championship was, well, he was absolutely nowhere. He'd had 2 results out of 7 rounds. But then the second half of the season up to this point has been brilliant.
Yeah, he had those 5 podiums in a row, including a win in Germany. 8th and 7th in the last 2. He just looked off the boil, but we said it earlier this weekend during practice. He brought it home.
Yeah. Yeah, where the old David Munoz, if he was having a bad weekend, would override, wouldn't listen to the feedback from the bike, the sensation you get through your handlebars and your bum, telling you that's the limit, and he'd have thrown it down the road. So I said in one of the practice sessions, I was pleased, believe it or not, to see David Munoz get an 8th and a 7th. That shows maturity, that he's willing to accept a result on a day where it's not quite working.
Was that the end of Almanza's shot at a podium there? Ran wide through turn 11 and dropped him back into the clutches of his teammate Adrian Fernandez.
6 to go, by the way.
Rueda lurking behind, who's now up into 6th place. And with a personal best lap of the race from Rueda.
Oh yeah, we're into the 55s.
Oh, the 2 Leopards!
That's not a nice move on your teammate.
Fernandez barges through and brings Rueda with him, and Almanza's dropped down to 6th position as the sun comes out again.
But if my teammate did that to me, I would have a word with him afterwards to say, hey, listen, don't be doing that. That's just stupid. That's going to cost us both time.
Almanza does a block pass and gets back ahead of Rueda. Rueda's got the inside line down in towards turn number 11. He trail breaks in, goes on the inside line, and is going to get through with a superb move.
Here with the championship leader. And Fernandez still to confirm what he's going to do next year. He has been looking around. I've heard he's been speaking to other teams. But I genuinely don't think that he's got anything sorted as of yet.
Who? Fernandez. What about Almanza? Not sure.
My understanding he's going to get another opportunity with the team. But
I think he deserves another opportunity, Almanza.
The only thing is, obviously, it's his first time in a top team like that.
He's not converted any of these.
He's not had a podium.
But he's made a huge step this season. Whereas Fernandez, for example, seems to have had quite a few opportunities, and there seems a lot of inconsistency.
3 podiums for the year for Adrian Fernandez, but he is top Honda in the championship.
Yeah, which then you've got to add that to the mix. That the KTM has been the bike to be on. It seems a better bike to race.
Talking about that, Joel Kelso on the KTM just set the fastest lap of the race in 9th place. What might have been, I think, as far as the Aussie goes today. Because we are 4.5 laps, before the end of this race, and David Munoz is 6 seconds clear of Kelso in 9th. And lapping much quicker than Perrone, who is now under pressure from Quiles.
Strange Moto3 race, this one.
They like to ride close to each other,
just
don't
going
they?
to say, was Quiles actually sat on his back seat? I mean,
Is this pillion racing?
like, look at it. He's
Yes,
trying to pass it
oh.
from the outside. You're never going to pass one from the outside on a hairpin corner. But he has.
Yellow flag's out in sector 3. Piqueras is down. Piqueras is off the road. He's got back on again. I think he's just run wide down at turn 10.
Has gone down at the hairpin.
He's back up though.
Seen a lot of that this weekend on that corner.
And all of a sudden, we're looking at a situation where Jose Antonio Rueda will have a shot at the title next time out in Indonesia.
In just 7
Because Angel
days.
Piqueras now, he's picked the bike up, but he's not going to score any points, is he? Where has he rejoined? Actually, has he rejoined? Well, we'll see now when he comes across the line. Is he in 11th still? Might not affect things too much because it's spread out so much. Yeah, he's picked the bike up, but he's rejoined just ahead of that group of Carpe, Ralston and Fudger. So having crashed, he's only lost
12 seconds.
Yeah.
That's impressive, isn't it?
Has there been any damage though?
Some fast laps coming in with just 4 laps to go. That group there behind Quiles and Perrone fancy their chances at, well, let's say Rueda fancies his chances of a podium here. Set the, well, Pini's actually set the fastest lap.
Yeah, having done a double long lap penalty as well, Guido Pini.
But what Fernandez, Rueda and Almanza need is these two to duff each other up.
I think they will. I think you probably bet your mortgage on it.
Think it's going to start here? No, thought about it.
Blocked off this occasion. Here comes Almanza back at his teammate.
That was a cleaner pass, wasn't it?
Yeah. Keras has dropped back behind Carpe now. Rueda will get a shot at Indonesia. The gap now about 85 points. Obviously, after Indonesia, after the race next week, he would need a 100-point gap, so it'd be a case of winning and Piqueras right down the order in, you know, you're talking 10th, 11th place. But there's an option. There is a first chance for him next time, if things stay the same, of course. You have to give credit to Rueda. This has been the way he's ridden this season. He's taken the risk when required, and today hasn't needed to.
He hasn't needed to. But look what he's done now. He's broke away from the 2 Leopard bikes, and he's trying to chase down the podium.
That lap, he was 2/10 quicker.
Yeah, he's going to need more than that with 3 laps to go.
More than that, and a bit more scrapping between Max Quiles, who on board with, and Valentin Perrone behind. Into turn 3 they go. Just under 3 laps remaining. Still David Munoz out in front by 2.3 seconds. Been robbed of a bit of a Moto3 barnstormer. Intriguing nonetheless, brave as well from Munoz out front.
Tell you what, Rueda's closing. He's got 0.2 on those 2 in front in the first split. This man wants a podium.
Up through the S's now. Climbing uphill.
Literally, it's one move from Perrone, and then Rueda will be on the back of them.
Quiles is also riding a defensive line through there, using up a lot of the road, preventing there being any chance of Perrone coming through.
Yeah, another 10th in that sector. 2.5 laps to go. I think we're going to have a good battle for the podium. Munoz's got this one in the bag, hasn't he? 2.3 seconds. Yeah, 2.2 second lead with 2 and a bit laps to go.
Fastest rider on track we saw there with Joel Kelso. Unfortunately, too late for him. Riding half a second quicker than the leader, but 5 seconds down on him. Here's Quiles and Perrone with Rueda charging behind. 2 laps to go when they cross the line. Still the Leopard duo. Duke it out in their scrap for 5th place. New fastest lap of the race from your championship leader, Jose Antonio Rueda. 155.3. If you have just joined us, it was raining in the early part of this race. Not heavily, a few spots here and there, but that's why it's spread out. But the fact is now they're at a right old pace considering the rain fell.
Well, they've got plenty of tyre left, because let's say the first third of the race, they wasn't able to really push those tyres. They were 3 seconds a lap slower than what they're circulating at now, so yeah, there's plenty of meat on those tyres.
And the personal best laps there for Quiles and Perrone, but unfortunately for them, Rueda was half a second quicker. Smells blood. Through the S's again, Perrone, right on the rear wheel of Maximo Quiles.
Someone's down. Yellow flag, sectors 2
I
and
heard
3.
a bike go down behind. Here comes Rueda on the brakes, on the inside.
Lovely.
It's Almanza who's crashed out. David Almanza plummeting down the order from the back of the grid into the podium spots and now into the gravel.
I think I'll need to see that. Was he assisted?
Oh, I hope not.
There was very, very, very close together.
He's holding his hand as well.
That's not good.
No, that is not good.
Scott Ogden's also crashed out.
Oh,
he was
right,
down
there's
in
two off.
19th.
That 2 is in the interesting part of the circuit.
Rueda has a look. With just over a lap remaining, he's in the podium positions. Wants to prove a point ahead of Max Quiles. David Munoz is gone, barring a mistake. He's going to win this one. But we have got a 3-way tussle for the box today. Which of these 3? 2 of them will be taking home a trophy. Which one's missing out? We're going to find out now. Just under 3 miles of Motegi to go. Quiles second, Rueda in third. A really wide line there.
Slingshot.
Trying to sling it, yeah, down towards turn 3.
Fast in, slow in the middle, and try and slingshot down this straight up to turn 3. It hasn't worked. I think he got in a bit too deep that time.
Yeah.
Yep, sadly, I think right there, as this is the last lap of the race, with Munoz 1.9 seconds ahead. It's Quiles, Rueda and Perrone all battling, and Rueda wants second position to close in on that championship battle between them as they come down through turn 5 underneath the oval, which has been repaired, but it's no longer used that much. Has really forced out wide, coming through 6 into turn 7. Rueda on the inside line through the 8 and 9 complex, and he's got back ahead of Maximo Quiles. So Rueda into second position. Is Quiles going to lose now? Third place as Perrone's looking for him on the inside line. A block pass coming through 9. Down towards turn 10. Perrone under the pressure as well to try and get this move done, because Quiles going for on the inside of Rueda. Not going to pay off there. We're in the last sector then for this one. Munoz is 1.7 seconds ahead of these 2. Final sector and the final few corners. There is David Munoz going to win once more. Quiles on the inside line. Gets ahead. Rueda breaks late. And now Perrone is going to try and swing through underneath him. The last 2 corners coming up. All still to do. Quiles goes wrong. Perrone is going to go through the outside. Hasn't worked out. 3-way fight to the end. It's David Munoz who wins a very interesting Moto3 that was split up with the weather. Rueda second, Quiles third, Perrone fourth, Fernandez in 5th place. A very interesting, as Hannah Burton, she waves the checker flag, a racing driver here from Japan. Very bizarre ending. Munoz winning, but Perrone tried to go on the inside line coming in the last corner. It didn't work. Maximo Quiles just got forced out wide, but he had the traction coming through on the inside.
3rd Grand Prix victory of the win for the Andalusian. Jose Antonio Rueda, brilliant comeback into second with that rain falling early on. Quiles rounds out the podium. We'll have that and all the reaction when we come back from the break.
So it's David Munoz of Jose Antonio Rueda, Maximo Quiles, Valentin Perrone, Adrian Fernandez, Rusi Yamanaka, Guido Pini, Joel Kelso, Luca Lanetta, Dennis Foggia, Enigo Piqueras, followed then by Matteo Bertoletti, Jacob Woolstone, Alvaro Carpe, Stefano Nepa, Cormac Buckerman, Marco Morelli, Eddie O'Shea, Rushi Moody, Riccardo Rossi, and Scott Ogden, the last runner, Almanza, Frosato, Duttweller, and Atama all out of the race at the end. So we'll have the podium for you, but that now puts Rueda on 315 points. He's 93 clear to Piqueras, and that means that there is a title chance next time out at the Grand Prix of Indonesia. So this will be a title chance. Krelat's holding on an impressive third position as well. He now moves to 204 points, with Munoz moving up into 197 on the board. So an interesting race. To update you on what's happening in the World Endurance Championship in Fuji, that race live on JB Motorsports for the 6 hours. We'll be taking over with the last two. It is the 12 caddy leading the 38 caddy. The 009 Aston Martin for the 93 Peugeot and the 51 Ferrari is the top 5 in LMP. Well, actually in hypercar coming into it. But interesting end to Moto3. We were expecting a lot more drama and a lot more side-by-side battles. That didn't happen. So an interesting turn of events and an interesting situation from where we're witnessing it. Still, coming up, we'll have Moto2. That'll be live on JB Motorsports 2 as well, with the main Grand Prix back on the main channel as we go around all of that here. So it's going to be interesting to see how it works. The pressure is still very much on the cusp here to see what's going to happen. It's a title fight and a half with these battles, but it is quite an interesting run. Okay, let's head back over shortly to TNT Sports and get all the latest news from the post-race for the Moto3 Japanese Grand Prix, where David Munoz is victorious once more.
Welcome back to Motegi. The Japanese Grand Prix in Moto3 has been won by this young man, David Munoz. Gets an embrace from Fermin Aldeguer down there as he rides back to Parc Ferme. Third win of the season, 8th podium. Excellent performance in tricky conditions. He's beaten the championship leader, Jose Antonio Rueda, into second, Max Quiles into third. Done it by 1.6 in the end, but that's not quite the story of the race, is it, today, with that early rainfall?
Yeah, so sort of spoiled the race a little bit. Great last lap. Well, decentish race, but you felt like it could have been better. But class, David Munoz risked a lot in that tricky period, and that's what's winning the race. And so what's nice, David's been in this paddock for a while now. He's an intense individual, doesn't look like that happy. He said when in his first year he wasn't here to make friends. What's quite nice to see is we're actually seeing a bit of personality come out now with the confidence, with these victories. And you'd have to say he's going to put himself as one of the title favourites for next season.
It's the transformation that we've seen, isn't it? I remember speaking to Peter Urkel. I remember chatting with him in Qatar.
Yeah.
We stood and chatted with him, and Peter was very calm about it all, but, you know, not scoring any points in the first 3 rounds, having had pole position, of course, in the USA. And he has transformed himself, and that was the challenge, because none of us ever doubted the talent that he's got.
And we've seen loads of fast riders throughout the years not being able to transform themselves, and just if you're once a crasher, always a crasher is one of the sayings. And it's all right being aggressive, but if you're too aggressive and you're spoiling your own races, and that's what Munoz has essentially done up to this point in his career. But he's a different rider now.
Good to see. Credit to Jose Antonio Rueda as well for judging it again. Here's Joel Kelso. You feel like without the rain, he would have been in the mix. He was setting fast laps in the latter stages.
Yeah, that's one of them he'll look back on and yeah, he'll be annoyed at himself. He should have risked more in those conditions. Some people don't mind it when it's raining and you've slicks on, like clearly David Munoz didn't.
He got pushed out wide, didn't he, at one point? Kelso never recovered.
He lost a chunk of time there.
Yeah. Max Quiles, he looked unhappy. Let's hear what he's got to say.
Max, great job onto the podium once again in such a difficult race to manage when those raindrops were falling. Just how slippy was it out there?
Yeah, when I saw the rain, I knew it was gonna be slippery, but it was really hot, so I keep the rhythm, but then I saw Muñoz was really fast. I have little experience in these conditions, so I said, I'm going to relax a bit. Then when the sun came, I said, okay, now is the turn. I pushed. Then I was catching Muñoz, but he was really strong as well, so it was difficult. And then in the last lap, I saw Red overtook me, so I said, something is strange, because I didn't know it was last lap. I saw Reda braking so hard, and I said, I think it's last lap, because he's normally really smooth. Then Perrone overtook me, and I said, oof, I'm going to overtake him back, because I think it's last lap, and it was last lap, so I nearly left the podium, because I was a bit, so focused on racing that I didn't know the laps. So yeah, I learned about this, and next time I will be more focused as well on the laps.
Great job, great recovery, well done.
Okay.
Good interview from Max Quiles there, little insights into when everything's going on in a Moto3 race. Easy probably to miss your pit board and know where you are in the race.
It so is easy to miss your pit board. What I love is, though, to have the wherewithal to go, hang on a minute, why is Moreno being super aggressive? Maybe it's the last lap. Look at this. This is why we're shouting and screaming. Side by side, one line through here, two of riders. What a shot. Like, bear in mind, Quiles comes out of this on top. How no one went down, I did say it. You can appreciate it more from that angle. That's the reality of the skill level of these young riders. Incredible. I was just looking. Max Quiles, that's his 12th Grand Prix start.
8 podiums.
8 podiums. Has anyone had a strike rate like that, apart from Acosta?
Yeah, I'm not sure.
That's unreal, isn't it?
Excellent. And as was this youngster today, another step towards the crown. He's opened up a 93-point gap over Piqueras.
Jose Antonio, a championship-worthy performance there when you're trying to fight for the ultimate goal when there's rain falling. I imagine there's nothing worse. Just how did you manage those difficult moments in the middle of the race?
Yeah, it's a very difficult moment because I don't know if the rain coming worse or no. I just going there and making some laps. When I saw that it's the time to push, I push and trying to come back into the front. I want to win like always, but well, today also is a missing day. I want to say thanks for the team and to everybody to support me, and yeah, I'm very happy today.
Another great ride, well done.
Thank you.
Again, the wherewithal, the knowing what's going on around you, just taking a little bit of moment, work out what the rain was doing, and it worked out.
Yeah, just look at his season. You look at the championship points. One mistake all year in Qatar. I can't remember what happened, can you?
Yeah, bike broke. Coming out of onto the front straight with a lap to go.
There
he was leading.
Go. I was trying to think. I can't remember him crashing. It's so funny you say that then. What a season. No mistakes.
Yeah, excellent. Excellent ride by this youngster. Pushing when he needed to. Let's hear from him with Jack Abial. David Muñoz, your winner.
Well, David, fortune favours the brave, and you were definitely the bravest out there today. Victory in the end by just under 2 seconds, but I guess it all comes down to those moments when the rain was falling and just how you managed to keep going at an excellent pace.
Yeah, today is a very important day for me because very difficult race. In the beginning of the race, a little bit rain. And I control the race very good with very calm. And well, third victory in the World Championships. Thank you to the team for all the work, for him. And well, thank you to everybody.
Congratulations.
Thank you.
Well, if you were asleep, that was a barnstorming end to the Moto3 race. It really had everybody shouting at the TV, didn't it? It was so well read, that situation with the rain, by David Muñoz. We did talk about him before being a changed character, and He really showed that once again today.
Yeah, obviously his ability was never in question, but his wherewithal in the race scenario was slightly questionable last year and even the previous season. But today, when it got down to this crunch period, there's spots of rain on your screen, on your visor. It's tricky to know how hard to push, and he just pushed as hard as he could, really, with the grip that was available. Taking a few risks on the paint here when there's spots of rain is slightly risky. The paint is, it's got some gravel in it, so it's essentially a little bit more abrasive. But yeah, it is an increased risk, but put the hammer down, got a comfortable margin, and then rode out a controlled victor. It was an impressive ride.
You kind of have to feel for Valentin Peroni there, don't you, really?
What a move into the last left-hander. He was decisive on the inside of Quiles, but Maximo, again, you got to say he's got such good racecraft that he immediately pounced back. But Peroni rode a great race as well. So yeah, good to see the two young lads going toe-to-toe in that last sector.
Yeah, Max Quiles, I mean, this last fight for the podium, it was dogged, wasn't it? It was so determined by all of them.
Yeah, you see how he's coming in onto the back of Rueda, compromises his exit here of 11 into 12. Peroni, look at the middle of this. He just has a quick jink to the inside, but that's where Quiles instinctively responds and rolls on around the outside, and they go toe-to-toe into the victory curve. But it was Quiles who came out on top for the final spot on the podium today, and the young Argentine Peroni, he can hold his head tall. He rode a great race as well today, and in tricky conditions.
Yeah, really tricky conditions. What a cracking start. Thought it was going to be a bit of a steady start, but it's hard to imagine about those raindrops now, isn't it? The sun full on shining, but as I look ahead, I don't know whether you spin around standby, there's some really grey clouds over there, and this is the trouble here. You never quite know what you're going to get, and it can rain on certain parts of the circuits and not the other parts. So this is kind of how the day, I think, Michael, could play out across the field.
Yeah, exactly. We didn't anticipate the rain there in the Moto3, but once the clouds burst, the spots got quite heavy for a period, but then the sun has broken back through again, so not enough to properly wet the track to make it slick and a little bit tricky, though. It is something that could play a part in MotoGP and Moto2 coming up this afternoon.
That's the scene here in Motegi, the podium. We're about to see three little fighters come out on there. Brilliant today.
Yeah, excellent, Susie, wasn't it? Yeah, I've been looking at the radar while you were just talking down there in pit lane, and that rain bubbled up out of nowhere. Just popped up. There's not like there was rain around. It just popped up here and dissipated. In theory, according to the radar, there's not going to be any more, but who knows after what we've seen and after you showed us those clouds over the far end of the circuit. So an uncertain day ahead of us. What is certain is we had a really good battle for second place in that Moto3 Grand Prix between Rueda, Quiles and Peroni. Three Spaniards on the podium again, all from the south of Spain. Two Andalusians and a Murcian. So first of all, the teams and constructors trophy handed over to KTM and the Liqui Dynavolt Intact GP team. Won for the third time this year with David Munoz. And from the Japanese Federation, Tetsuo Suzuki hands over the trophy to that squad. Now sleep well on their flights over to Indonesia. Some are travelling tonight, some are going Monday, some on Tuesday. It's not the easiest process to get down to Lombok, as Max Quiles holds aloft his 8th trophy of the season. Imagine he would have been in the mix, wouldn't he, if he'd have not missed those 4 races. First with the age limit, second with injury. Jose Antonio Rueda, his 12th podium out of 17. Been on it every single round. Really has deserved his 93-point lead in the championship. But in terms of deserving today, the mayor of Motegi brings the energy drink up for Rueda as David Munoz receives the trophy. His 3rd victory of the season, closes in on Quiles for 3rd in the championship. And for the 3 Spaniards on the podium, let's hear the Royal March.
The Moto3 race has concluded, and now it's champagne time on the podium here. We'll be back in a few moments' time, ready to go for the Moto2 action. We'll see you later on. Take care. Bye-bye.